Welcome to the third video in our comprehension series. In this video, we will look at the explicit teaching and modelling of comprehension strategies in the classroom. We will start by looking at why this plays such an important role in developing comprehension strategies and skills in your students. And then we will focus on how this can be done in your classroom in a consistent and interactive way. Effective teaching of comprehension works best when it follows a gradual release model. This begins with you, as the teacher, teaching and modelling the comprehension strategies. You will then work with your students to support them in the guided use of strategies to reinforce and practice. Your students will then be ready to employ comprehension strategies and skills independently. Now that we've covered why and where explicit teaching and modelling fits into the development of comprehension strategies and skills, let's look at how you can do this practically in the classroom. There are of course many ways that you can and are doing this in your classroom now. In this video, I'm going to focus on one way that you can approach incorporating explicit teaching and modelling in your teaching during a guided reading session. The guided reading session is an excellent opportunity to incorporate both explicit teaching and modelling and guided practice of comprehension strategies and skills into classroom practice that you will already be running effectively with your students. I'm now going to demonstrate how you can approach teaching and modelling a comprehension strategy with a guided reading group. Welcome to today's reading group session. The comprehension strategy we will be focusing on today is Activate Prior Knowledge. I'm going to remind us of our strategy tip using our flashcard. Our tip for Activate Prior Knowledge is, what do I already know? Now, I'm going to show you how I use this strategy while I read using our Think Aloud sentence that helps us to activate our prior knowledge. Remember, our Think Aloud sentence is, what do I already know that can help me understand what I'm reading? Zebras are herbivores. They eat grass. Without grass, zebras wouldn't have anything to eat and they would die. Okay, now that I've read that information from the book, I'm going to use our Think Aloud. What do I already know that can help me understand what I'm reading? Well, I've heard the word herbivores before from a movie that I've watched about dinosaurs. The dinosaurs that were herbivores ate plants and did not eat meat. When I visited a farm, I saw other animals eat grass, including cows and sheep. So I think that they're herbivores too. Now, as we read the book today, I'm going to ask you to activate your prior knowledge using the Think Aloud, just like I have. Let's start reading. You will notice in the demonstration we have just watched that I have been careful to use the language previously introduced around the comprehension strategy. Consistently using this language will reinforce it for your students and give them a way to communicate back to you about their use and understanding of the strategy. I'll demonstrate again now with another of our 7 comprehension strategies, Determine Importance. Welcome to today's reading group session. The comprehension strategy that we will be focusing on today is Determine Importance. I'm going to remind us of our strategy tip using our flashcard. Our tip for Determine Importance is, what is the important information? Now I'm going to show you how I use this strategy while I read, using our Think Aloud sentence to help us determine importance. Remember, our Think Aloud sentence is, what are the most important pieces of information in what I've read? Why is this information important? Basketball is the most exciting sport. Other sports are too slow. Cricket makes me yawn. Golf makes me sleepy. Exciting! Now that I've read that part of the book, I'm going to use our Think Aloud. What are the most important pieces of information in what I've read? Why is this information important? Well, when I read the first sentence, I find out that basketball is exciting. The other sentences explain why it is the most exciting by comparing basketball to other sports. The author used the words too slow to describe other sports, so he must think that basketball is a faster sport. The words yawn and sleepy remind me of times that I've been bored and not interested. So I'm thinking that the most important information here is that the author thinks that basketball is a more exciting, faster-paced sport than other slower sports. As we read the book today, I'm going to ask you to determine the important information in the book using the Think Aloud strategy, just like I have. Let's start reading. You can see from the 2 demonstrations you've just watched that I have followed a structure in introducing the comprehension strategies at the beginning of the guided reading session. The research we looked at in video 1 supports the use of consistent language and approach in comprehension instruction, and this can easily be applied in your guided reading session. Let's recap on the things I have incorporated into the teaching approach you have just watched that can help assist in applying a consistent approach to comprehension teaching. Each time that I talked about a comprehension strategy, use a strategy tip or think aloud sentence, I use consistent language. Using the flashcards is a great way to reinforce your consistent language and can be used regularly in the early stages and then as a reminder as students progress. The metacognitive strategy of thinking aloud can be used both by teachers to model their use of strategies and then by students in guided and independent practice. Using the guided reading text to model your use of comprehension strategies with increasingly complex texts will support students in their use of the strategies. Students will then become comfortable and confident in using the strategies secure in the scaffolding that you have modelled. I hope this video has been helpful in showing you one way in which you can incorporate the latest comprehension research into your daily practice in the classroom. In our next video, we are going to look at some other ways to support comprehension development in your guided reading sessions. I'll look forward to talking to you then.